Favorite teacher gets wrongfully fired, so I get 3/4 of the staff arrested. I'll start off by saying this happened to my sister, and the actions taken were hers. My sister has always gotten along very well with her teachers, and has a habit of forming actual friendships with them, to the point that she still talks to her 5th grade English teacher, along with many others, decades later. This happened about 15 years ago. My sister was a student at Job Corps, a government-run live-on-campus vocational training program, studying hotel/motel management. She got on extremely well with her hotel/motel management teacher, better than pretty much every teacher she'd already had up to that point. One day, the teacher goes to the center's dean's office, and walks in on a paper shredding session. It turned out that there was some pretty major embezzling happening at the center, as in more than 60% of the funds for the center were being stolen. The teacher was appalled, and despite some rather lucrative offers made, refused to join in on these acts. Less than a week later, the teacher was fired for trumped-up reasons. This was especially bad given the teacher was only 2 years away from retiring, and being fired lost their retirement package. Needless to say, my sister was pissed. Knowing how things typically work, and that almost any report she tried to make would just be swept under the rug, if it was taken seriously at all, she came up with a plan. And took things nuclear. Over the next month or two, my sister managed to gather some basic evidence of the embezzling, nothing concrete, but enough to warrant considerable investigation by the authorities. She took the little evidence she was able to gather, along with the story of what happened to her teacher, and sent the info in an email to the Job Corps regional director. Now, like I said, she knew that her email would likely be ignored, or the event swept under the rug, so she got smart. The email was sent to every single major person in the Job Corps chain of command, all the way up to the national director, as well as to anyone even tangentially related to Job Corps in the upper echelons of the Department of Labor, and every member of Congress, as well as the U.S. President's office. Remember, this was a government-run program. All in all, the email was sent to over 2,000 people. Basically, she not only sent the report, but sent it in such a way that everyone who got it could also see everyone else who got it, and she sent it to more people than would be needed to ensure the issue couldn't be swept under the rug. 2 weeks later, after the investigation finished, never seen the government work so fast on anything that wasn't collecting owed taxes. Only 5 or 6 staff members, out of 20-ish that worked in the center, still had their jobs, and at least 5 of the ones fired, including the dean, were facing major criminal charges, with the rest facing minor charges. I'm not sure of the exact figure on how much was stolen, but it was well into the 7 digits. The embezzling had been happening for years. The teacher got a very nice severance package post-investigation, IIRC, it was 3 years of pay, her full retirement package, and signing a NDA, though she didn't get her job back, and my sister was given her completion certificate. Despite not having finished the requirements of the course, they wanted her gone, but couldn't kick her out. This is golden. I'd give an award if I wasn't broke. Aside from the big gold made of commas. You could have fun with the emojis sports medal. And I'd give you gold if I wasn't a stingy bastard. Stealing millions from Job Corps? What the King FK is wrong with these mongers? Well, clearly they are mongering for too much. Your sister is awesome. She really and truly is. I've heard enough sad stories about poor little _______ whomever who lost XYZ because she worked with crooked, abusive knuckleheads. I love nuclear revenge. How did she get all the email addresses though? Lots of Googling. It would take a substantial time commitment, but the email addresses for all the people/positions listed are freely available online. I once had an issue with an Apple product and the Apple Store was dicking me around about a fix. I googled Steve Jobs' email address back when he was alive and fired off an email detailing the issue to him. Not 20 minutes later he responded he was sorry for the experience and had another executive C-seat asking him to sort everything out. The next day I received a call from the Apple Store apologizing for the experience and to come in at my convenience to have their tech genius quickly fix the issue. Man, I miss the good old days of SJ. Asking the important question. All government emails are public. There are representatives after all, they need to be reachable to the community. Now, I'm sure none of the powerful ones check their own mail, but still. There are programs that scour through websites taking any contact details it can find. Emails are not difficult to find. Most companies follow a naming convention, and I'm sure the USGov does too. So something like firstname.lastname@company.com. From there, it's just research on LinkedIn and the company website to learn who the players are. I had to do it with American Airlines before to get a valid of their network team to diagnose and fix some issues with IPS being blocked from accessing their site. After over a week of run around from the support phone numbers, I found every network engineer and their director of IT and CTO and emailed them. Every time I read hotel/motel, my mind automatically followed it up with Holiday Inn. Hotel. Trivago. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. Hotel, motel. Make you wanna cry. Good to know the nice teacher ended up well though. This is perfect nuclear revenge. This is so satisfying that it calmed down my anxiety. You'd think there'd be a news story if the corruption and embezzlement were that widespread. The embezzlement wasn't widespread, it was all in a single Job Corps center, and anyone forwarding her emails to anyone from the press would be guilty of federal crimes. Center was in the middle of nowhere, it's literally on a wildlife preserve, so no one to see all the government people swarming in, and thus no one from the press showed up to see what was happening. I could probably look up the court documents for when the dean was arrested, and post those, but it's against forum rules to post anything that could name one of the people involved. I love your sister. Being a current Job Corps student of 18 months, I got way too excited to see a post mentioning Job Corps. BTW, I highly recommend the Job Corps program for anyone ages 16 to 24 who wants to turn their life around or even just learn a trade and get a great paying job without going into debt from student loans. Yeah, Job Corps can be either great or shitty, depending on the center and staff. I went to Job Corps myself several years after my sister, and, well, avoid the Iroquois Job Corps Center in Nice, it sucked. The Shriver Job Corps in Devon's Ma was awesome though. That NDA is some bullshit though. If you have a choice between signing a NDA for a large sum of money and your retirement package, not signing the NDA, and not getting your retirement or severance package, which would you choose?